Anaphora. A lot of times you use pronouns. Why do we use pronoun? That's the question. For example, we generally say that we use pronouns to save the repetition of the nouns. So, anaphora is something like this. The use of a word referring back to a word used earlier in a text or conversation to avoid repetition. For example, the pronoun he, she, it, and they, and the verb do, etc. So you know that we use pronouns, third person pronouns, to refer back to a noun that was mentioned earlier, or sometimes we use the verb do instead of the verb that was previously in the sentence. So these are used to save repetition, and we can easily refer them back to those nouns for which we bring these pronouns or these verbs, or sometimes we bring the phrase as well. For example, I like it and so do they. So it obviously refers to some thing or some object which was mentioned earlier, and do obviously in this sentence do refers to the verb like. So do they. Like they also like. So in fact this was the sentence after and so they like. So they also refer to some people mentioned previously. So whenever we use these things, we are in fact in the process of anaphora. So we saw a funny home video about a boy washing a puppy in a small bath. So if you look at this, in this we have a boy, a puppy, a small bath. So the puppy started struggling and shaking, and the boy got really wet. So in this second sentence, the puppy refers to the previous puppy that was introduced in the first sentence as a puppy, and the boy refers to the boy who was previously mentioned as a boy. So here we have replaced them with the phrase, and now the puppy and the boy are specific, and they are referring to the previously mentioned boy and the dog. When he let out, it jumped out of the bath and ran away. So he now refers to the boy, and it refers to the puppy, and the bath refers to a small bath. So this is a very common process in which we refer back to the words already mentioned by using pronouns, by using verbs, or by using other phrases. And especially when we find them, they've been used first time they were used as with an indefinite article. So second time they were used with a definite article. Now they are specific, and they refer back to those nouns which were identified in the first or in the previous utterances. So referential relationship, the second or the subsequent referring expression, is an example of anaphora. Anaphora means referring back. So second, the puppy, the boy, the small bath, they are the anaphoric references. And the first mention is called antecedent. So the first one, a puppy, a boy, a small bath, they are antecedent of those phrases. A boy, a puppy, and a small bath are antecedents. The puppy, the boy, he, it, and the bath are anaphoric expressions. Anaphoric can be defined as subsequent reference to an already introduced entity. Subsequent, what comes later. So what comes later can be referred back to an already mentioned reference, to an already mentioned entity. So they are anaphoric. That is, the first one mentioned is the antecedent, and that comes back to the antecedent is anaphoric expression. The connection between an antecedent and an anaphoric expression is created by, for example, use of a pronoun. We can use a pronoun to refer back to an antecedent, or a phrase with the plus antecedent noun. That is article plus antecedent noun. I mean the puppy, the puppy. So, or another noun that is related to the antecedent in some way. The little dog ran out of the room. So we can bring, for example, the little dog for the puppy. We can replace it. The little dog will refer back to the antecedent, a puppy, the puppy. The connection between antecedent and anaphoric expression is often based on inferences, right? What we judge from the facts or from the premises. So that based on inferences. We found a house to rent, but the kitchen was very small. So the kitchen was very small. Obviously, we have some inference that if X is a house, then X must have a kitchen. Similarly, I caught a bus and asked the driver if it went near the downtown area. So we can say that if X is a bus, then it must have a driver. So our understanding is dependent on our understanding of inferences. So if X is a house, then X has a kitchen, and if X is a bus, then X has a driver. So to refer back to an antecedent is the process of anaphoric expression. So we make anaphoric expression quite often in our conversation. We do this process by using pronoun, by using a verb, by using a phrase.